Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to chat with you about a new feature, well, new as of this recording anyway, that Squarespace has added. Been doing a lot of new feature rollouts this year. So the latest is an update to the donation capability. So if you are someone who likes to be able to take donations or accept donations on your website, you're going to want to check this out. But before I show you how that works, if we haven't met yet, my name is Meg. I'm the founder of Floating Lotus Design, and I'm a Squarespace web designer, SEO specialist, and I'm here to help you elevate your business and your website without the tech overwhelm. All right, so this is not new in the sense that Squarespace has allowed you to take donations through their donation block in the past, but the capabilities were somewhat limited. So they've added some new features and enhanced the donation capability. So I'm going to go over and show you how that works right now. All right, let's take a look at adding donation capability into your site. We'll start here on my blank page, and let's start by adding a section. And, you can go with anything you want, really. You can start with a blank one, but they have donations. So let's start with selecting one from a donation. All right. Well, this one looks fun. Let's pick full information. Now let's format it a little bit. You'll notice first that we have set specific donation amounts. We have custom amount available and then different options for frequency. So let's see how we make that happen. Now, when you click edit, you'll first notice that if you haven't already, you will need to set up a payment processor and turn on customer accounts. And this will guide you through that if you haven't done that already. And the next thing you want to be doing is your fund settings. So if we open this up, save and continue, this brings us to all those settings you saw what's in the block. So the details. So if there's any information you want to include, if there's any disclaimers about the donation, this is where you'd put that in. And then here's where you can set the amount. So you can make it as many options as you want. If you only want to have one option, this has four. You can change the amounts. You could throw in a description. Maybe you have like certain levels, like $10 is like, entry level or something like that. Silly, but you can add descriptions for each of the levels. And so you can put all of those details in here. You can remove them if you want to. This is where you can toggle on or off whether or not you're going to allow custom amounts. So if you have it on, then folks have the option to donate something other than what is on your list here. So they can donate less, they could donate more. But if you're going to give them that freedom, that you would toggle on that setting here. And then this is where we have the settings for our recurring donations. So do you want to enable recurring donations? If you do, you have two options. You can have them be monthly or weekly, and you just toggle them on or off here. If you only want it to be one time, you toggle them off, obviously. And if you just want it to be like a monthly donation, you could choose just monthly. But this is where you do the settings for your donations. Once we save that, see that this is, I'm going to exit out here, and you'll see as you go in here, I now just have one time or monthly. I can go into a custom amount. If I choose that, then I can type in $500. Let's do that. Feeling generous today. And then you would click donate and it would go through the payment processor. Down here, this is where you have that disclaimer text that I was talking about, or whatever text you want to have in there. That's where that shows up down here. So really simple. That's all there is to it. But being able to now have more flexibility in how you set these up to allow for custom amounts and to allow for a more than a one-time donation, I think is a great addition. I think is going to make this even more useful for folks than it has been. One thing I would like to note, actually two things. First being that this new functionality, these new features only apply to new donation blocks. So if you've already been using donation blocks on your website already, they're not automatically going to update with these features. You would have to replace them and add in a new block and set it back up. And basically, if you're going to do that, all you need to do, you don't have to do a section. You can just go wherever that block is and delete it, and you can add a new donation block. So the search feature, you can just add donation, and it just brings up that block that we were talking about right above. So just keep that in mind. If you're already using this feature, you'll just want to update your blocks and use the new ones and get them all set up, and you'll be off and running. But it's nice to see that Squarespace is taking the feedback and starting to roll out some features that people have been asking for and increasing the functionality of some of the existing features. So I'd love to know your thoughts about the new donation capabilities on Squarespace. Is this something you utilized before and will be kind of up-leveling now, or is this something new to you and you're going to give it a try now? Love to hear your thoughts down in the comments, so let me know.